I'm crying. No, don't cry. This video's not about crying, bitch. Hi guys, and welcome to another video. I'm Jessica Torres, and today we're going to be talking about how I learned to love myself. So for the past 6-7 years that I've been online, that's the #1 question I always receive on Instagram, on Facebook, on YouTube, everywhere. How did you learn to be so body positive? How did you learn to love yourself? And it's been a long journey. When I was younger, I really always hated myself, and I was never fashionable. I was never someone who would wear makeup because I was so embarrassed of myself that I didn't want to draw any attention to me. So I was the complete opposite of who I was today, of who I am today. So I decided to do certain things that would help me be body positive. Now, these things didn't happen. I didn't just write them down and be like, I'm gonna do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. No, these were just things that happened organically throughout the 6-7 years that I started this body positive journey. So I hope you guys enjoy them. Let me know which ones you guys are going to be trying out, which ones sound crazy, sound fun, cool. Let me know. This is just what helped me. I hope it helps you guys. If you're having a hard time loving your body, and if you're having a hard time understanding your body, I hope these steps help you guys be a better person. #1. So what I did is I did something that scared me. I decided to do something that scared me every day. So that's the reason why I started my blog. I was like, every day I'll wear an outfit and I'll take a picture of it, because prior to my blog I had never ever taken a full body picture of myself and uploaded it online. Like that was insane. People would tag me in pictures and I would like untag myself because I was like, oh my god, you can see my body. If you can see me pretty much from the neck down, I was not having it. But now if you go to my Instagram or my Facebook page or my blog, you see pretty much my entire body. Like I'm always showing it in 2-piece swimsuits. Like, Manolo, not again. Not again, papito. Not today. No. Blog was mostly about me pushing myself out of my comfort zone, and I think that's something really important when you want to grow as a person, when you want to grow confidence, is that you have to really put yourself out there, and you really do have to do it for yourself and no one else. Like, this has to be done for you and no one else, guys. I didn't do this because I wanted to become popular on Instagram. I didn't do this because I didn't want this exactly to be a career. Like, I was a journalist. I thought I was gonna be working in a magazine. Like, no one would know who I was, and I would just be writing for a magazine. Like, that's what I thought my career was going to be, and this was just something personal. This is something for me to grow as a person, to be a better human being, so that I would stop hating myself, because I would see my reflection. I just remember just such bad, horrible flashbacks of when I was young. I would look at myself in the mirror and I would literally cry myself to sleep because I hated my stomach and my arms and everything, and I just thought I was such a disgusting person. I didn't go to prom because I thought that my body wasn't worthy of going to prom. I didn't think I was gonna look pretty. I wasn't gonna find a dress. Like, it was very traumatizing for me, and I didn't let myself live experiences that I probably should have, and that I'll never be able to go back to high school, be a 17-year-old and go to prom like that. I lost it. I will never be able to do that. Do something that scares you every day, whether it's taking a full body picture, wearing a crop top, taking off that cardigan and showing off your arms. Do something that scares you every day, or once a week, or once a month. Build up the courage to do these things, and it will really make an impact in your life, I promise you. #2. Another very important thing, and I think that a lot of us do this, and I still do this to myself. Like, I feel like we are our worst and biggest critics. Like, yes, I do get mean comments online, and yes, I do get like fat-shaming comments all the time, and like negative things all the time. Like, yes, I get it, and sometimes they do hurt, and sometimes they're like so negative to me that I don't even read them. I just like scroll past them, whatever. But I can be my worst critic. I can be the meanest person to myself. Like, no one in this world can be as mean to me the way I am to myself. So I realized that I needed to start being kind to myself, and I stopped saying these negative things. Like, I would say the meanest things about myself to myself and to other people, so people would hear this. So, you know how you say, oh, you know, I really hate when my aunt or my uncle or whoever talks about my body and says these kind of things. It's because you're teaching them to treat you that way, because if you talk about yourself like that, then it's okay for them to talk about you in that way. That's how it goes. You got to teach people to treat you in the right way, the way you want to be treated. I would stop saying these mean things to myself. Like, I didn't call myself ugly and fat and stupid, because all these negative things, they were just like building up inside of me, and they weren't letting me live. So I realized that being nice to myself was very, very important. And if you have a hard time knowing when you're being nice or when you're being critical, like, of course, always criticize yourself to make yourself a better person. But when you're being mean, I feel like if you would never say this to your best friend, to your mom, to your sister, to someone who you really truly love, then why would you say it to yourself? You know, like, overall, you should be your biggest supporter. You should be the person who you love the most. I'm just giving you what helped me, what I did for myself. And this wasn't something that I was like, oh, what is the second thing I'll do? What's the third thing I'll do? It's just something that happened organically throughout the years. Now, this is something that I've learned throughout the 6-7 years of me being online and learning to love myself and learning to be a body positive person. So that was number 2. Tip number 3 is something that sounds a little weird, but was effective for me, and I kind of still do this one randomly here and there whenever feeling like I'm having a really low day. I would go into the bathroom. I have a full size mirror there. I got completely naked, and almost every day in the morning or at night, whenever I had time, I would go naked into my bathroom and look at myself and look at, like, seriously look at your body. I was so used to saying negative things about myself that I needed to do the opposite at this point. And I decided to compliment myself. And at first I started with, like, physical things, like, oh, you have really pretty black long hair, and you know, your nose is cute, your lips are cute, like things like that. I love the way your shoulders look in like when you wear these kind of clothes. I like this, I like that. But then I also wanted to compliment myself with things that didn't have to do with my physical being, like more about my intellectual and more about the way I treated other people. For example, I would compliment myself and be like, you're such a great listener, you're an amazing friend, you're this and you're that, because your value and your beauty is not just based on the, you know, this vessel that you have. It's about how you treat others. Haven't you seen people who are just absolutely gorgeous and you're like, wow, like you're seriously a model, and then you talk to them and you hear them talk and you're like, how can someone so beautiful be so ugly on the inside? And then all of a sudden that person isn't pretty anymore. They just look like, well, they look really gross. It's because you kind of portray, you kind of put out there what you want other people to see. And I want people to see true beauty in me, and not just by my face or my body, but because of how I treat others and how I am to other people. So I would compliment myself physically, intellectually, spiritually, and every other level that I could. So that was step number 3. Stand in front of the mirror and compliment yourself. Do it all the time. This tip right here, the step, whatever you want to call it, guys, really changed my life. And I'm so grateful, so grateful for doing this. The 4th thing I did was to surround myself with other fat people. Now, I know this sounds so stupid and so weird and random, but it's very, very important for you to surround yourself with people who understand what you're going through, for people to, you know, you can have a conversation and be like, hey, I'm feeling like this. You know how when this happens when you're a fat person, and then this happens when you're a fat person, you know, and that person understands you. And it's so crazy to finally have someone to be like, yes, I know what that means. I know how that feels. You understand what I'm talking about, and I understand what you're talking about. And it really does help to be with people like that, and not just random fat people. I mean, fat people that are body positive, fat people who encourage you to love yourself for who you are right now, not 10 pounds later, 3 pounds later, 20 pounds later, 50, 100 pounds later. It's about people who can understand that you want to be fashionable, beautiful, love yourself, live your life right now at this moment, this instinct. My best friend is skinny, and like, she's completely the opposite of how I look. She's petite, she has curly hair, she's so skinny, very gorgeous girl. But I can talk to her, and she has her insecurities as well, but I can talk to her about insecurities, and she talks to me about her insecurities, and like, yes, we get to like talk about it. But when you talk to a fat person and you talk about an insecurity that you're having, a bad day, a bad week, a bad month sometimes, that person gets to understand you on another level that the other skinny person doesn't understand. So it's very important for me to make fat friends and to make friends that are pretty much very understanding of what I'm going through, and that really does change your life. Even from like being able to vent to someone, to like exchanging clothes and trying on clothes with your friends. Like, it's always so much fun to be able to go to my friend Liesel's house or my friend Kelly's or Stephanie, and I go ahead and be like, oh, this is so cute, I'll try this on. Or like, look, this doesn't fit me, it'll fit you, here, try this on, you can keep it, or whatever. Or like constantly trying each other's clothes, playing around with our clothes, and you know, just surrounding yourself people with who understand you. The reason why for me having fat friends is so important is because when I was younger, I really truly, and it sounds so weird and I'm so embarrassed to say this and admit this, but I really would avoid having fat friends because I didn't want people to associate me with other fat people, because it was more like, oh, those are the two, this is the fat squad, or this is like, and that would be embarrassing to me. But now I'm like, yes, fat squad, come through, you know, like, it's just so liberating. And it wasn't because I was embarrassed of them, it was because I was embarrassed of myself. So it really does make a difference, guys, to decide to love yourself. It really does. Number 5, and I think this is the most important one. I think that this is the most important one, guys, because this is the one that is going to help this process actually last and last longer. And it is to make the conscious decision to love yourself. It means that you really have to want to do it. You can do these things and love yourself superficially. Like, I love my face when I take a selfie, and I love this when I wear this outfit, and yes, yes, yes. But like, you have to truly understand that the changes have to be done from within you, not for anyone, not by anyone. Like, there's no one in this world that's gonna make you love yourself the way you can make yourself love yourself. And it's a lot of love in that sentence, but it's true. You're allowed to have a bad day, and you're allowed to complain about it, and you're allowed to whine about it, because, you know, days are shitty sometimes. But you have to make the decision of like wanting to be better than that. You have to be like, okay, I had this bad day, I'm not gonna allow this to ruin my life. And guys, let's be honest, I don't feel happy and comfortable with my body every single day. That's not how this works. This is something that I work on every day, that I have to constantly make the decision to love myself and to not feel about myself and not hate myself. And it's very hard. I mean, I had some really dark things, and I don't want to talk about them, because if I can sit down and talk about them, I can literally cry. These are way better, thank the Lord Jesus Christ. But it's all about you making the decision, guys, of you wanting to love yourself. That's all that is. You have to want to love yourself. And I really hope you guys enjoyed this video. Let me know if you guys like this video. I'm getting very emotional, and I don't want to get emotional in this video because I want this to be something that makes you guys happy. It's very important. I feel like the reason why I do what I do is because I want other women to have the role models that I didn't have when I was younger. I never saw on TV someone who was fat, positive, and like wasn't just like the butt of a joke, you know, someone who truly loved themselves. And I feel like that's what we need so that we can learn to be better human beings. If you start loving yourself, and people who hate themselves hurt other people, and that's the way it works. So that's why there's so much negativity in the world, is because people truly hate themselves. And I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I'm blowing along too long, and thank you guys for watching. If you guys like this video, give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye!